Hello there! Welcome to Clinical Psychology Crash Course 101. In this video, we will talk about clinical psychology. So what is clinical psychology? Did you know that the term clinical psychology was first used in print by Leitner Whitmer in 1907? Here's a fun fact. In 1907, Whitmer founded the journal The Psychological Clinic in its first issue. He published the article Clinical Psychology. Whitmer was also the first one to operate a psychological clinic. For now, let's consider how he chose to define his emerging field. Whitmer envisioned a clinical psychology as a discipline with similarities to a variety of other fields, such as medicine, education, and sociology. A clinical psychologist, therefore, was a person whose work with others involved aspects of treatment, education, and interpersonal issues. At his clinic, the first clients were children with behavioral or educational problems. However, even in his earliest writings, Whitmer foresaw clinical psychology as applicable to people of all ages and with a variety of presenting problems. Defining clinical psychology is a greater challenge today than it was in Whitmer's time. The field has witnessed such tremendous growth in a wide variety of directions that most simple, concise definitions fall short of capturing the field in its entirety. The recent definition for clinical psychology was given by the American Psychological Association, or APA. They define clinical psychology as follows. The field of clinical psychology integrates science, theory, and practice to understand, predict, and elevate maladjustment, disability, and discomfort, as well as to promote human adaptation, adjustment, and personal development. It also focuses on the intellectual, emotional, biological, psychological, social, and behavioral aspects of human functioning across the lifespan in varying cultures and at all socio-economic levels. So what do clinical psychologists do? Before we answer that, let's first talk about the difference of clinical psychology from professional counselors, counseling psychologists, psychiatrists, social workers, and finally, school psychologists. There may have been a time when these two were quite distinct, but today there is a significant overlap between these two professions. Clinical psychologists were more likely to work with seriously disturbed individuals, whereas counseling psychologists were more likely to work with less pathological clients. Unlike clinical psychologists, psychiatrists go to medical school and are licensed as physicians. In fact, their specialized training in psychiatry doesn't begin until well into their training. As physicians, they are allowed to prescribe medication, which clinical psychologists do not do. Additionally, social workers have focused their work on the interaction between an individual and the components of society that may contribute to or alleviate the individual's problem. They saw many of their clients' problems as products of social ills such as racism, oppressive gender roles, poverty, abuse, and so on. As the name implies, school psychologists usually work in schools, but some may work in other settings such as daycare centers or correctional facilities. Their primary function is to enhance the intellectual, emotional, social, and developmental lives of the student. Professional counselors earn a master's rather than a doctoral degree and often complete their training within 2 years. They attend graduate programs in counseling or professional counseling, which should not be confused with doctoral programs in counseling psychology. Again, what do clinical psychologists do? They are engaged in an enormous range of professional activities, but psychotherapy is foremost. As with employment settings, this finding is true today and has been for decades, at least since the 1970s. And that's all for our Chapter 1 lesson. I hope that you learned something from our video. Thank you for watching and God bless! Hey, and don't forget to press like and subscribe and keep tuning for more videos.